2 weeks. I thought she was pulling a heartless prank. She explained that her past love had suffered a crushing breakup and needed her help to mend. Her words twisted my gut. It was unimaginable that the woman I'd built a life with could utter such a thing. She attempted to ease my worries, assuring me her intentions were rooted in compassion and kindness. But the thought of her placing him above our sacred promises made my chest ache. I asked if she realized how absurd this sounded. With calm, unwavering eyes, she responded, "You know I'll come back. He just needs me for a short while." Her words, meant to reassure, cut through me like a knife. I reminded her of our marriage, of the duty she owed to our family, not her former partner, but she dismissed it, saying I was making a mountain out of a molehill. That night, sleep escaped me. Her words looped endlessly in my mind. 2 weeks living with her ex, as if our vows were meaningless. I couldn't accept it, yet it felt like a betrayal wrapped in the guise of generosity. I wondered what kind of man lets his wife share a home with another. I was trapped, torn between holding on to my dignity and wrestling with heartbreak. The next day, she packed a small suitcase. My heart clenched as I watched her neatly fold her clothes with effortless calm, as if preparing for a casual trip. I asked her one last time if this was truly her decision. She nodded, pressed a soft kiss to my cheek, and whispered, "It's only to help him recover." Then she left. Our daughter Lily, just 16 but wise beyond her age, stood quietly in the corridor, observing. That evening, she came to me, her voice gentle but weighted with worry. "Dad, are you okay?" I forced a faint smile, but she saw through my facade. "Why is Mom picking him?" she murmured, her voice trembling. I pulled her into a warm embrace, concealing my own pain. In the days that followed, the house felt empty. Lily tried to maintain her usual routine, but her eyes revealed her grief. She had always admired her mother, but now a veil of disillusionment shaded her gaze. On the 4th day, she made an unexpected decision. She called her mother and declared she wouldn't speak to her until she returned home for good. When my wife heard this, she was shaken. She called me, her tone sharp with blame, asking why I'd turned our daughter against her. I clarified that I hadn't said a word. Lily had made her choice independently. It wasn't just me she'd disappointed, it was our whole family. The call ended in silence as she hung up. On the 7th day, Lily surprised me again. She proposed we spend time together, just the two of us. We went to a quaint diner, shared a meal, and she gazed at me with sincere eyes. "Dad, you don't deserve this. Mom should be with us, not him." Tears pricked my eyes, but I only nodded. It hit me then that my daughter had chosen a side, and it wasn't her mother's. The days dragged on, but Lily's steadfast support gave me strength. We shared moments of laughter, cooked meals together, and even cared for the garden. It almost felt like we were building something new without her. It hurt to admit, but life without my wife wasn't unthinkable. It was just different. When the 14th day arrived, my wife returned. She stepped through the door, expecting things to be as they were, but instead, she faced a chilly distance. Lily didn't run to hug her. She barely acknowledged her. "Sweetheart, didn't you miss me?" my wife asked. Lily shook her head and said, "You left us. Why should I?" Those words hit my wife harder than anything I could have said. She looked to me for support, but I stayed quiet. This wasn't my battle anymore. It was hers to face with our daughter. For the first time, she seemed to understand that her choices had consequences no justification could erase. That night, she tried to explain herself to Lily, but our daughter wouldn't listen. She stood by me, the one who stayed, the one who didn't forsake her. In that moment, I knew our family had transformed forever. My wife had left to heal someone else, but in doing so, she had broken something in our home. Though I didn't say it aloud, I couldn't shake the thought. Sometimes, in trying to save another, you lose those who needed you most. The next morning, she sat at the kitchen table, her eyes swollen and red, waiting for Lily to join her for breakfast. But when our daughter walked in, she didn't glance at her mother. Instead, she came straight to me, kissed my cheek, and said, "Good morning, Dad." The silence that followed was deafening. My wife broke down, tears streaming as she begged for Lily's forgiveness. But Lily only shook her head and whispered, "You chose him over us. I'll never forget that." In that moment, the truth became clear. My wife hadn't just lost my trust, she had broken the bond with her daughter. No matter how many apologies she offered, some wounds were too deep to fully heal. Our marriage might be mended or broken, but the damage to a child's heart was something she could never undo.